As I turn on the jets here, the Mach skates must put me into Mach 2 or 3 by speed standards for sure. What's going on, you guys? Justin, aka Boomer, Beer League Bum, Hockey Reviews. Today I actually wanted to do a really quick snapshot review on the new Mach skate because first of all, I wanted to be one of the first ones to get one out, of course, but I actually had some really good feedback with this skate after a number of skates. And I'm actually pretty impressed, but there is some stuff that I'm a little bit concerned about. So I'm gonna just give you guys a quick snapshot review today, really quick, so it can help you guys maybe decide if you wanna purchase the Mach skates or you wanna pass on them and wait for something else. So let's get after it. Mach skate, initial review. All right, guys, so just some quick highlights from the game and a drop-in. The reason I wanted to release this so quickly is because the skates were really easy to jump into, and I had a really good game. I had a 5-point night. That's where all these highlights are from, and it was all because the skates were just very quick break-in. I was able to use them perfectly right away. There was no learning period. Nothing had changed. The only thing I noticed was they had a little bit less forward flex than the Hyperlights. Even though they have that new amp flex technology, I don't think it's the same forward motion as the Hyperlights. But other than that, the comfort was excellent. The break-in was very quick, and the skate was really easy to jump into. So it's something that if you have current skates that are really broken in, you'll be able to walk into these really quickly. Let's get into some quick thoughts on all the different parts of the skate. All right, guys, point number one with the Mach skate is gonna be break-in. I'm not even joking, within 5 minutes of my first shift, using the Machs coming from the Hyperlight, and this was no different at all for me in terms of feel and break-in and comfort. Extremely fast break-in, extremely quick comfort. I was so impressed. I hated breaking in skates back in the day 2 or 3 years ago, but now with the new Machs and the Hyperlights and hopefully anything else moving forward from Bauer and anybody else, is the break-in on skates now is so much better. And wow, comfort out of the box with the Mach is unbelievable. It was so good, so comfortable. Honestly, it felt better than my Hyperlight, to be honest, and I really enjoyed it. So break-in right away, there isn't any. The Mach out of the box, as soon as you bake it and throw it on, I was walking around the store, felt amazing. And then after the skate, 5 minutes in first shift, felt like skates that I've worn for 5 years. Unreal, great break-in. Another really good feature is the Comfort Edge. And this has definitely been upgraded from previous ones, especially the Hyperlight and 2X Pro, which is the last two skates that I've had. The Comfort Edge is excellent. So another little bit of an upgrade, but at the same time, it probably should have been better to begin with because they were trying to go with the Comfort Edge on this. And I remember the 2X Pro and the APX and 1X and stuff, they were terrible. So Bauer finally puts a feature on a skate and should have been like this from the beginning, but the Comfort Edge is excellent. So after the great break-in, guys, is I cranked up my skates and then noticed something right away that I'm gonna say I am concerned about in terms of durability, and it reminds me a lot of the Hyperlight and the carbon fiber. I don't know how much testing Bauer really does, but I'm guessing that you're gonna run into some problems in the future with the amp flex. So the amp right here is actually this tiny little gray thing. And if you put it right up to the camera, you can see it. It actually weaves in and out. So it goes like this and goes around this little gray piece right here. And I cranked these on and looked right on the inside here, and I think we're gonna have a durability issue that I will definitely report back on in 2 or 3 months when I do a full-on review of this skate, not just a snapshot. I think Bauer's gonna have some problems here. I think this is gonna just keep flexing, wear down, and eventually break right here. I think this is gonna end up snapping, breaking, wearing down, or something like that, because the way that it's cranked on, and once you're forward flexing a bunch, I think we're going to have an issue there. So I'll report back, but I think personally that the AmpFlex is going to have durability issues. Just a quick note, something I'm going to report back on in 2 months. Here's just a little close up and you can see how it kind of goes around the gray piece. And if you're going to be flexing that, I think the friction is eventually going to wear this piece down. All right, guys, so my current skate is the Hyperlight, and I'm actually going to sell these and, of course, keep my Machs and do long-term testing. But the one thing that I will put up on the screen for both of these is the weight. I was a little bit disappointed to see these sitting in the 900-gram range. I was hoping that they would actually do some weight savings on these. So the Hyperlight, as you can see, was about 870 something. This sitting at 900. I was really hoping for a weight savings on the Mach, just because I would love to see them slowly bringing that down. But you know, obviously the quality and stuff needs to be there, and the skate feels really good. But it's just a little bit disappointing. I'd like to save some weight. You know, it just is what it is when you're advancing technology. I'm not sure what the ultrasonic actually weighed, but I'm guessing there's no weight savings there in terms of an upgrade from that. So in terms of looking for the lightest skate on the market, the Mach is definitely not going to be the lightest. The Hyperlight sitting at 877. Again, steel in. I have the steel in these in the 2 videos there that I'll post, or pictures. But it's a little bit unfortunate. We'll have to do a little bit of research and figure out what the lightest skate on the market is. I know Hockey Tutorial did something recently where they said the Hyperlight was the lightest, but honestly, modern skates are really not that much lighter. There was a joke post on my Instagram a while ago how the Graph actually was less weight than this is, and the thing was like, I don't even know, 15 years old. So weight is definitely not something that is the technology is bringing down. So a little bit disappointed there, Bauer, but you know, it's understandable with the type of materials and the protection that you're trying to put here.
These are my 2008 Graph G5s. And I cannot wait to see how much lighter these 2021 Bauer Vapor Hyperlights are. Son of a bitch.
So the eyelets. So I know this is going to be a personal thing, but I forgot how much I freaking hate standard eyelets. Oh my God, why does the Hyperlight's injected eyelet system get so much freaking hate? It's so much better than standard eyelets. So really annoying. I took out the stock laces because they're terrible. They're way too thick and way too long. And I bought some 72s and those were way too short. So I put in laces twice for my new Machs. Ended up doing 72 and then went to an 84. And oh my God, changing laces is horrible with standard eyelets. First of all, they're way too far in, so you have to like rank on things to actually get them out. And they're just very difficult to get into. In terms of durability, I've had no issues with my Hyperlight's injected eyelets. So I don't know why Bauer ditched these on the ultrasonic and Mach when they were originally on the 2S Pro. And they're just so much better. In fact, I find that this is one of the things that technology has actually done well with in terms of improving a skate and something that's standard is the injected eyelets. They're just so much easier. They're better shaped for the actual like shape of what a lace actually is, which is a little, you know, square and rectangle. It's not circular, which is what these are. And I just hate standard eyelets. So I know it's a personal thing and I'm just gonna hate it until the day that I probably get the new Vapors in 2023. But the frickin' standard eyelets on the Mach, I frickin' hate them. On the Mach skate, I'm not sure what the stiffness is in terms of difference from the Hyperlight, but they feel exactly the same on the ice to me. The only difference being the Hyperlight, I have a little bit more forward flexation, which is interesting because the AmpFlex is supposed to be that. But I think that the standard eyelets and this AmpFlex are not gonna do that much like the Hyperlight does. So I honestly think this is a very traditional skate. It has some technology here in terms of the AmpFlex, but honestly, I don't really feel anything in terms of forward flexation. I prefer the Hyperlight for that. Honestly, if you like a standard skate, first of all, from a cosmetic standpoint, there's no flash to this anymore. And standard eyelets and nothing crazy in terms of like weirdness, like the Hyperlight has those weird cutouts and a weird tongue and things like that. I think the Mach is probably the skate for you. So what do I like about it? I do like the tongue. It's very protective and it feels really great and really comfortable. And I love how it's very injected into the tongue now, which is better because the ultrasonic and previous ones, 2S Pro, things like that, had that kind of like, it almost was like glued to the outside of the tongue. It was not that great. I love the recoil freaking tendon guard. Sorry, I can't think this in a second. I love that. It felt great, and overall the boot just feels really good. So I really think this is a standard feeling skate, and I think that's what Bauer was kind of going for, and it feels great. So if you like standard skates, the Mach's probably the one for you. Now, in terms of overall long-term review, the idea here is, of course, to test this over the course of 2 or 3 months and do a full review in terms of durability, how the amp flex holds up, how the tongue feels, how everything kind of works in terms of the quarter package. I have a lot of road rash and stuff on my vapors. We'll see how the quarter package and stuff holds up with the Machs, etc. So very just quick little review, guys, here. In summary, very quick break-in. Comfort out of the box is fantastic. I feel like the amp flex is going to have some durability issues that I will report on in the future. Very traditional skate with the eyelets, the way it feels, the weight, etc. So I personally think the Machs are going to be a decent skate. Without the amp flex doing anything, I think it's very much just a little bit of an upgraded ultrasonic, but I think that's what everybody kind of feels. Stay tuned for a more long-term review, guys, and we'll check back later. Thanks for watching.